everybody. Once again, this is Fred Wanko coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Island TV. And as usual, I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you wherever you are around the world. I hope you enjoyed that intro music by Helen Ibe, a young, phenomenal guitarist. Well, today it's going to be a very short one. First of all, I'd like to introduce with a young lady very frustrated with Nigeria's elders. Why is this important to me? I've always insisted that we respect elders too much in Nigeria, and that's a good thing. But when you respect people who don't respect themselves, when you respect people who are supposed to speak truth to power, but they become the biggest liars in society because of their selfish interest and greed for money, then you're going to find young people like this who sound rude in what they're saying, but any objective listener can see that everything she's saying is the truth. Then I'm also going to make a statement with a little visual under what I'm saying, showing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that instead of running around and planting Lamidia papas all across the country to carry out his dubious operation, that he could actually take a step back. There is a Fulani man that I'll conclude with that really brings solutions to Nigeria's problems. We all need to listen to him, but it's a two-edged video. One is that we need to listen to his solutions, but we also need to use that video to understand that Fulanis have good intentions for Nigeria. Not every Fulani is a member of this cabal that is trying to destroy Nigeria. That cabal that is destroying Nigeria is also destroying Fulani land. This is very short, probably the shortest I've done. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope we all learn something from it. Let's start out with the young lady's view about Nigeria's elders. It's shameful, but the truth is bitter. Just listen.
After making that video addressing why I thought Nigerian parents are one of the weakest links in the Nigerian diaspora, you guys came to the comments to even prove that you are not one, but you are the number one weakest link. My problem is you guys have run the country to the ground. So you guys have taken away the hopes and dreams of the youth. You have made Nigeria a desolate land, a country of survival of the fittest, but you demand respect. You demand respect when you lack accountability. The only people who make Nigeria proud are the youth, the children. During your time of opportunity, you ran the country to the ground, making it worse than it was before. So instead of having politicians who want to improve the nation, we now have politicians who want to improve their family. See, I'm encouraging youths who have the privilege and opportunity, who have the success to improve their nation. Because honestly, it's left to us, because you rest of you old hags are just money thirsty, power hungry animals.
I feel that young lady's pain, but I like to caution Nigerians and the young. Not all Nigerian elders are bad. We should be concerned about members of the cabal. In today's Nigeria, we have to be very careful with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I hope he will change, because if he changes and he succeeds, Nigeria wins. But if he keeps going the route he's going to tear our country apart. The lying and the conniving has to stop, starting with when he hired his crony bishops in the north, and then when he hired a crony in Labour Party to destabilize the Labour Party. But because I brought this up, I want to conclude on the note that it's time Nigerians start to pay attention to well-meaning Fulanis. Listen to this man and his message. The credit for this following segment goes to Channels Television Nigeria.
And the honest truth to me is simple, that we can accuse each other, we can point fingers. The question is, who is actually better off? I'm a northerner, I'm from Kano State, and I have been accused by colleagues and brothers in a very civil political discussion of dominating the polity, dominating the economy, and dominating the security. So I asked the question, if I dominate the polity, I have the president, yes, I have the executive council and appointees that are constitutional, just like every other state. But what is my economic situation? And what is my security situation today? So the question is it working for me if I dominate somebody? It's not. The question is, look at all the indices of development. The North today is actually worse off. Security, education, prosperity, development, I don't know. What have you? The North is not very well positioned. In fact, other parts of the country that have been pushed off in opposition space have managed to organize themselves into a survival mode and come up with a credible economic and development model. So I will say to you that, look, I think this country needs to be reviewed, and I think need to be fairly and equitably structured. I've always advocated for what I call development federalism. Development federalism, in my view, is a consensus by the 6 regions and Abuja to create a development template over time and devolve power gradually to the regions and to the states. The truth of the matter is we all need to go back to our states. If all the states are working, the federation will be working, because development is not in isolation. Everywhere you go, it's either a local government or the state. So if you devolve power to the local government and to the states, and then create an economic investment template in the form of development federalism, which basically bring the potential of South-South to be an oil and gas hub in Africa, we will stop importing petroleum products. We will stop importing things that we should be exporting, and we will become net exporters of that product. The Southeast, we all know, are very ingenious people with technology, manufacturing, and trading. Please, let us invest heavily. Let us leverage on our resources and raise the capital to invest heavily in manufacturing so that we don't import things from India. We don't import things from China. We import and we produce these things we need for agriculture and for our transportation and other industrial machinery in the East. It's doable. I've been to Newi, I've been to the industrial hub of Aba. I have seen what the East can do. We will be proud to say, made in Aba, produced in Aba, made in Nigeria. And we will all be proud citizens. And the economy of the East will be a net contributor to the center. The same thing with the Southwest. Southwest dominantly is a manufacturing and marine economy. Singapore is exactly like that. And therefore, if we develop the marine economy, the ports, and the manufacturing base of the Southwest, we will be net exporters of goods and services and service providers in marine. And therefore, the Southwest economy will become net contributor. If you take the 3 regions of the North, Central, East, and West, and you take the 3 countries of Cambodia, Thailand, and Vietnam, our economy is almost the same thing. So, and these countries are booming individually. If you invest today in these regions in agriculture, agro-processing, and organized market with the standards for export, standard for feeding Africa, we're even lucky that the African Continental Free Trade Agreement is in effect. We have the whole of African market to ourselves and the world. We will be one of the richest regional zones in Nigeria. Therefore, the North will now become net contributor to the center. And Abuja can maintain our sovereignty, can maintain our identity, can maintain our defense, can maintain our currency, and we raise the flag. Now I am saying honestly, the structure of this country is not working. I don't want to be accused even when I am suffering. I want my people to wake up and rise up and feel proud, just like every other Nigerian will feel proud when that sense of ownership is created. We should review. After all, the amalgamation has expired and the is be reviewed by the National Assembly. So the question is, what is the process? Now there are three different dynamics going on. The first one is the National Assembly has set up a very, very credible committee reviewing the Constitution. The question is, can they change Nigeria to a point where they can change them? And the third one is the one we don't want, is eruption, is anarchy. And that is important. And when you mention that DSS is talking about anarchy, I get very worried because we're almost there already. That citizens are advocating for change in an undemocratic way is not where we want to be. So the government of today should actually honestly review its position, and the National Assembly, as I said, with the political parties, both PDP and APC as the major parties and other parties, to sit down and say, how do we do this peacefully? We all love each other. We all are Nigerians. We all respect each other. At individual level, we all have friends across the whole country. And honestly, everybody wants to have a giant, functional, proud country called Nigeria in Africa. Not only Nigerians, the whole black are looking up to us to provide leadership. We are better up together, but we need to have a functional structure.
We are better off together, but we need to have a functional structure. I don't know about you. I've heard sound bites in the past, but with all the discrimination we have here and there, if we open-minded, I really believe that you haven't heard this articulated much better than this was. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my message today. It's my way of saying that together and united, we can build a great country, and divided, as the cabal would like us to be, we have no chance. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Allen TV. Until next time, good night and God bless.